My name is Dora Diaz. I'm the president of the Osceola County Democrats, and we are doing what's called Spill the Tea with OYD. This is a chance for us to interview political candidates and to get to know more about our candidates that we will be seeing in our ballot in August. So I want to welcome you to our first candidate, Miss Angela Eady. She's running for mayor.
Yay! Good evening, everyone.
All right, Miss Eady, so we have some tea over here. I am drinking some chamomile tea, and I put like a little anise in it. What are you drinking?
I am drinking just regular hot tea.
Regular hot tea. How do you like your tea? Cream, sugar?
I like it sweet, yes.
Oh, yum, yum, yum. Me too. I try to do like something, relaxing for today. But, so what position are you running for, and why should Young Democrats support your campaign?
Okay. Let me say this before I go any further. Currently, I am a city commissioner for the city of Kissimmee. I'm into my third term. It's a 4-year term. It's 4 years for each term. I am now currently running for mayor. The reason why I'm running for mayor is because right now, the city of Kissimmee is on a great path with our affordable housing that we've been doing. We've also been fortunate enough, we haven't raised that millage rate in the last decade to increase people's residents' taxes, which is great because I don't know anybody on this planet that wants their taxes increased. I have not met that human being. And so in order to stay on the right path, our current mayor is what is called terming out. The way that our charter is set up is that you can run for 2 terms, whether it be a commissioner seat or the mayor's seat. Each seat is 4 years. So he was a commissioner 7 years ago. He ran for mayor. He won that seat as well. So now he's turned out and he's running for a county position. So that left that seat open. And I felt in order to stay on the path that we're on, we need someone in there that is followed that path, that's been part of that path. So I thought about it for several months, prayed about it, and I said, you know what, let me take a stand and step up to make sure that this city stays on the track that we're on right now. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna put my hand in and I'm gonna run for that seat. So that's what I did. I announced my candidacy the first week in January, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. So why do you think so many people are running for this particular seat, though?
Well, there are people it could be a multitude of reasons. There's a lot of people that are driven by power, or should I say authority, which unbeknownst to some people, the mayor's seat is still just 1 vote. It's not all the votes, it's still 1 vote. I believe some people just feel that they can do it, which that's a right attitude to have. You know what, if he can be mayor or she can be mayor, so can I. It's not restricted, that's for sure. As an open seat, it does open the door from most of the time. People, when there's a position that's an open seat, you do get more candidates that are willing to run for the seat as opposed to someone that's running for re-election. So I think that there's a lot of different factors that play in as to why people are running. And then some people want change. And there's a saying, if you want change, be the change you want to see. So there are people who want to change and they want to be part of that change. So they want to start that process of that change. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does. And so what is the difference between what a Kissimmee mayor would be and a county commissioner? How does that differ? Because,
Well, the county commissioners, they have what's called districts, certain areas within the county.
Yes.
A city commissioner is within the city. Now, the city of Kissimmee doesn't have what's called single member districts where everybody's designated a certain area within the city. It's at large, whatever area in the city that's having an issue, you can go and, do your research and take care of that if possible. And the county is much larger. We have almost 370,000 people that actually reside here in Osceola County. Now, in Kissimmee, we have a little over 80,000. So the districts are going to be different as far as volume-wise. It's going to be much bigger.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, because our county incorporates the cities of Poinciana, Celebration, yes, Reunion, St. Cloud, Kissimmee, Narcoossee, Holy Paul, Kenansville, all of that. There's a part of Lake Nona that is part of Osceola County. So that's the county.
Thank you. And like, what is in the current position that you are in right now, what is one of the accomplishments that you're most proud of?
Gosh, there's so many, but you know what? I'm so serious about public safety. That's a major concern of mine, and it has always been. So I would say one of the major accomplishments that I can see that I have been part of is when we approved the budget a few years ago that allowed us to have body cameras that the city would pay for our police, our KPD officers, and a 5th rescue unit for our firefighters. So I think that those are just some of the major accomplishments that I feel that we've done, and I've been part of that. Because after all, with those body cameras, it protects both parties,
yes,
our officers as well as the constituents. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to be part of that approval.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Ms. Eady. And as mayor of Kissimmee, what's one program or initiative you would introduce that hasn't already exist, and why?
Well, there's several of them. One of them, one of the things that I also advocate for is affordable housing. There can never be enough affordable housing. Right now is a prime example, what we're experiencing with this COVID-19 virus. It has really affected a lot of households because a lot of people are out of work right now. Mm-hmm. Not only are they out of work, but we've got this unemployment system that has not been working in our favor for the last several years, because number one of my biggest pet peeves is that our unemployment benefits is $275 a week. It's been like that for at least a decade. Wow. How do you pay $1,300 a month rent on a 2-bedroom apartment if you're unemployed and you're receiving unemployment benefits that your tax dollars have paid into for many, many years now? You can't do it. You cannot do it. It's just, the numbers don't add up. So right now, I'm advocating with one of our state senators in Orange County that we push for an increase in the state unemployment benefits from $275 to $400. That's so desperately needed. Like yesterday.
Yes, it is, especially since
needed. And to add fuel to that fire, the terms of the unemployment as it stands right now is only for 12 weeks. Yeah. And I support it being increased to 26 weeks at the very least. I mean, if they're going to keep it at 12 weeks, we're already on week 5 with this pandemic. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people that haven't even received their first check. So they only have 7 weeks left. And the benefits haven't even started rolling, coming into their accounts. So that's just one thing. That's just one thing. Another thing is our veterans. Let's talk about veterans. Mm-hmm. Our veterans need some assistance. There's a lot of veterans that are out there that are also homeless too. So we need some increased benefits or housing for our homeless population. And you know what? Our homeless population is old and young. It's not just older people that are homeless. There's a lot of young people. There's college students that are homeless right now. So you know what? These issues that I want to tap into, it affects everybody. It affects everyone. Our small businesses, and let me say something about small businesses. Small businesses are not just downtown businesses. Small businesses are all over the city. They're just not on one designated street. They're everywhere. So what we do from one, we need to do for them all. We need to support and promote all small businesses.
And thank you for saying that, because one of the things we're trying to do just to promote those small businesses is putting it out there, like putting the small businesses and how they're changing their business just to accommodate for COVID-19. So we try to do that on a weekly basis on our page. But that is very important. And a lot of, like, especially since on the news that we hear about just a limited number of small business application loans that have been given out. So that is definitely hurting the city of Kissimmee.
It's really hurting. It's to my understanding from the documents that I've been reading up on, there was 38,000 small businesses that applied for loans through the SBA, but there was only 1,000 that was granted those loans.
Mm-hmm.
That ratio, that's not even 1%.
It doesn't make sense.
Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. And I understand the way that it was set up in order to get it, or to not be able to, not be required, I should say, to pay it back. You had to use that money for the majority of it. I think it was 75% of it for payroll purposes for your staff. So that alleviates them from getting on the unemployment system. So that makes sense. But when hardly nobody got the loan, we're still back at square one. Now what? That's the situation that we're in now. Now what? What's next? So yeah, we have to do better. We have to do better.
And what else is COVID-19 and how is that impacting Kissimmee? What else is going?
Keep in mind, the majority of the jobs here, not only in Kissimmee but Osceola County, is tourist driven. Whether it's a restaurant or working at a hotel, any of that's all tourist driven. We don't have, we're unfortunate where we don't have a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are here setting up shop to employ, 400 and 500 people and starting them out with $15, $20 an hour. We don't have that fringe benefit, but we do have a lot of jobs that accommodate our tourist industry, such as Disney World. Well, it's made a major impact because a lot of people that reside right here in Kissimmee, they work at Disney World. Well, they worked. Let me say that they worked, because now that entire staff is unemployed, or should I say furloughed. They're without jobs. So it has made a significant impact here. Even our grocers, some of them have cut back on hours with their staff, which that staff employs a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Our restaurants, a lot of restaurants have cut back or even closed because they just don't have the funding to support their employees coming into work and not having the money to pay back, because they're not, raising a lot of money. They're not making a lot.
I mean, I could tell you right now, a lot of my friends, they're not working and they're really struggling to make rent.
Absolutely.
They're in the service industry, and it's not like we can foresee that this is going to get any better, because once this is all over, people are not going to be traveling as much, as they used to before this.
Yeah, when this is all over and it's all said and done, everybody's lifestyle is going to be altered somewhat. So yes, you're absolutely right. It has affected everybody. Look at our education system now. We're at the mercy now where the average parent is teaching the children now, because everything is virtual now. And let me say this before we go any further. Anybody out there that does not value the worth of an educator now, you may want to seek some counseling. Because yes, after the last 3 weeks of kids being virtually home and being homeschooled, it's a learning experience, not only for the student, but for the parent as well.
It
So
is.
yes, and it's crippling. It's crippling. I have a granddaughter, 5 years old, in kindergarten. Kindergarten. The second day after virtual school, she cried, and I said, "Well, what seems to be the problem?" I just miss my friends and I miss my
Yeah.
teacher. It's hard on everyone. This has become, uh, this is a new wave. Yes, it is, but it's hard. You can't mentally prepare for something of this magnitude. You just can't, because it has affected every area of all walks of life.
It is. It is.
Yes,
And
yes.
even the Florida Department of Corrections yesterday, as of yesterday, there's 107 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the system. 3 inmate deaths. That's as of yesterday, and that didn't get the numbers from today. But so what can be done about those to protect those correctional officers and the inmates in the system? Because
And one of the biggest challenges that they will have is, how do you keep inmates 6 to 7 feet apart from each other
mm-hmm,
when they're all in close proximity of one another? How do you do that? That's going to be a challenge, because you know what? That's going to require some upgrades to the housing in the jails.
yes,
Yes, it's because you know what, with that, when you do it 6 feet, when the requirement is 6 feet, then that means the ratio is going to change. It has to.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And so, what type of moving forward from now? What type of responses do you think that the local government needs to start enforcing or start implementing? Because people are protesting. They're protesting today, demanding to go work in downtown Orlando. So, what type of actions can local government do, or what do you recommend as
Well,
far
right
as
now,
response to COVID-19?
yeah, right now, I know everybody wants to get back to their normalcy. Everybody does. I for one do. I want to get back to where it was 2 months ago, where we could come and go as we please. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
I ran into one of my classmates that I hadn't seen, give them a big hug. We all want to do that. We all want to do that. But we must understand that everything is done in a process.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot just turn on a light switch and say, you know what, we're back to where we were 60 days ago. Move on, have a great life. It's just too much has happened in such a short length of time, and then too much of not certain things that happen also. So we're going to have to collaborate and make sure we continue to communicate with our constituents, the residents of this area, to let them know what's going on. And we got to be supportive of one another. We've got to be supportive. Each and every one of us, if there's nothing else out of this that you're willing to do, you need to look out for an elderly person. Just go check on them. If it's something they need, we've got to make sure that they're taken care of. We got to make sure that they have food. We got to make sure that they're staying inside. We got to keep up with that process, because when everybody is obedient, that's the ticket to killing this virus.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's, just there's this verse in the Bible that says, "Peace be still." We need to be still.
I like that.
Yes, we need to be still, but we got to check on our elderly, because that's where our wisdom is coming from. Wisdom doesn't come from the internet. It doesn't come from a movie. It comes
Mm-hmm.
from communicating with our elderly.
I do. That is very, very true.
Yeah.
And it's very important. And it's kind of hard because I want to visit my grandmother, but I don't want to also put her at risk. So we had
I
just
have,
been calling and just checking in and stuff like that. So it's so different of how life has changed
yes, it
in
is.
in a
I,
matter of weeks. It's
yes,
crazy.
yes, I have an 85-year-old mom that I haven't seen in a month now. I talk to her every day, and she lives right in St. Cloud. I talk
Hmm.
to her every day, but I have not physically seen her. It's hard.
It's hard.
It is. It's very hard. And the issue that I have is I come from a huge family. There was 12 of us, there's 10 living. There's about 60 plus grand and great grands. So can we do the 10 people social distancing? No, it's too many of us.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's gonna always have to, not go. So I haven't seen my mom in, it's been a month. It's been a month.
Yeah.
But we got to stick to it.
We have to.
In order to kill this virus, we gotta make it stationary so that it will die. Not go away. I want it to die. Yes. I put a posting up a little after the virus came and everything got haywire. And I said, and it was a prayer. It was a prayer. And it said, God, instead of killing, so many innocent people with this virus, why don't you just kill hate, discrimination, anger, rage, those things that he doesn't like? Just kill that. Let the coronavirus attack that. Racism.
Yeah.
Instead of people, kill the character in the person, not the person. Yes.
So, Miss Angela Eady, let me ask you a question. Why do tea drinkers get in trouble at the nightclub?
That's not the tea that you and I are drinking. That's the Long Island iced tea that they got to drinking. Wrong tea. That's not Publix tea. That's not Lipton's tea. That's Long Island iced tea.
No, all right. They tend to be naughty, not tea.
That's the Long Island iced tea in them.
Yes.
Yes.
What is one message that you want to let young Democrats know, specifically in Osceola County?
I would tell each and every one of them to follow their dreams, support the Democrat platform, and keep moving forward. Always continue to move forward. Do not think that the older generation or the middle-aged generation is trying to overthrow you, because that's not the case at all. We need new ideas. We need new faces to take us to new places. So keep that dream alive. That's what I would say.
Thank you. That was very inspirational.
Thank you.
How do you plan to reach or try to reach the younger generation, or try to involve them in the decision-making process in our town?
Well, one of the things I would like to do when I'm elected is start a young civic organization to accommodate the millennials, so that they get to bring them to the awareness of how city government works, what impact they can have in the decision-making field. And I'm not talking about just another nonprofit organization that needs a couple of members. This is a civic organization that's just geared towards the younger generation, because that's so well needed. That's so well needed here.
Thank you. And what are your favorite places in Kissimmee that you like to spend time in?
I like going to this small eatery called Mia Castilla. It's on the corner of John Young Parkway, and I believe that might be Dillingham. It's a small Cuban barbecue restaurant, and they make the best penne and rice and beans, and the juca is to die for.
Ooh, all right.
Yes. I get my eat on with my Spanish food now. Don't get it. I do. Yes, I do. Yeah. I like Natty Seafood because I'm a seafood eater.
Mm-hmm.
That's I love crab legs.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love lobster. Yes, I do. And they make good seafood down there. They have some hellified salmon.
Oh, I need to try that. I need to try that. Just
Yeah,
in there because their
yeah.
snow loaves is so good.
Yes, it is. It is something else, bar none, the best I've had in a long time. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Miss Eady. What is one thing you want to let everyone know as you're running for Kissimmee mayor?
As a candidate that's running for
Yes,
mayor, I'm asking for each and everybody out there that's listening to support this campaign. This campaign is geared towards everyone. Um, I know what this city could be. I know what this city should be. I know what this city used to be. And I want to keep it diverse because that's how you learn. Being in a diversified city is a learning experience. We need to continue that movement of learning from one another because there's so many different cultures here. That means more cultures, more good food. more good food. And boy, there's a lot of good food in this city. But I
yes,
would encourage each and every one of the people that's out there that's listening to this to support my campaign. It's on the rise. It's a movement for young people because you know what? I'm young at heart. I'm 55 years old, but I'm young at heart. So I'm gearing towards our younger generation. I'm gearing towards our older generation. I'm actually gearing towards everybody. So I want you to jump on board to this campaign and let's just make this happen. Now, this is history for this city when I win this election because I will be the first African American to be elected as mayor, the second female to be elected as mayor. So you want to be part of history? Come on to this campaign. Come on to the campaign. Yes.
Thank you so much, Miss Eady. We're gonna do a little lightning round. I'm gonna ask you a couple silly questions,
Sure.
and the thing is, you just gotta say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right? It's just a couple questions. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Favorite day of the week?
Wednesday.
Favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Scale 1 to 10. How good of a driver are you?
9.
Invisibility or super strength?
Visibility.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
Hell no.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Butter pecan.
Say a word in Spanish.
Hola.
And favorite number?
2.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Angela. This was a great interview. I really appreciate you coming on and doing this Spill the Tea. It was really nice to get to know you. And young Democrats, this is Miss Angela Eady. She's running for candidate of Kissimmee mayor. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Enjoy your day.